Man. And we are live. Ring Kings podcast. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte post-fight reaction. Look, man. I mean, what you wants to say? That might have been one of the easiest fights Tyson Fury has ever had in his career.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. Dillian Whyte, he was slow. He's unskilled. Not an accurate. He wasn't throwing accurate punches. He was kind of wildly winging his arms. Trying to jump in. And I know that's because Tyson has the reach advantage and everything, and he just wasn't able. He doesn't have the footwork or the head movement to get inside without doing that. But it made for an ugly fight, a boring fight, and an easy win for Tyson.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, for all of you guys that follow our Twitter account, if you don't, go follow that now. I tried to do a ring by ring round analysis, and they made it very difficult.
Yes,
there was nothing I could say. Like, it was nothing spectacular up until the last round, which, of course, with him being knocked down, but other than that, man, it was just.
It was whack, man.
I didn't.
That's all you to put it.
It was whack.
Real quick, shout out to Eric L. Appreciate you coming through. Says greetings, brother man. Welcome to the 100 subscriber club. Thank you very much. We got Ravens online ungatekeepers. Says fellas, congrats on 100. Yes, thank you.
Appreciate
thank you. Yeah, thank you to everybody that subscribed, man. You helped us reach 100 subscribers pretty quickly. And we appreciate it. You guys see them be enjoying the content, so keep supporting and help us get to 200. Oh, and look at what Mikey's wearing right there. Look at that apparel. Oh, the Ring Kings merch is here. The Ring Kings, it is here. I'll tell you exactly where you can get that. You want one of those right there. lbhtshow.com/shop. That's where you can get one of those things. I have one too that I was gonna wear it, but look, my setup wouldn't allow for it. So
yeah, you guys would think Jose would have a hole in his chest if he
yes,
the green screen and blue screen and all of that. So.
Exactly. But yeah, that's where you can find it right there. I'll leave it up there for a second. Man, there really isn't much to say about this card as a whole. Tommy Fury, his younger brother, fought. I think it was the first fight. That was a sleeper. Like he looked like a guy. I mean, if he's gonna be something in this game, it'll be later down the road, right? He has a lot of work to do. The next fight,
actor learning how to fight.
Yeah, and look, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe he'll turn into something later on, but right now it's just you're just seeing a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's the guy after him? Adelaide. I think it's like David Adelaide. He fought like it looked like Butterbean's younger brother.
Yes.
He was fighting.
Yes. Bro, like full disclosure, we have a text thread, and I text these two and said, like, clearly they're just letting anybody fight, right? They just picked anybody to fight on this card to fill some slots.
And Danity in here bringing the heat as always.
What's up, Danity? She said, I wouldn't assume a Dillian Whyte fight would be enjoyable in 2022.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yes, and she's right.
Good point. But listen, this is by far, right? And I feel very, very confident in saying this. I watched a lot of boxing in my life. This is the worst championship card I've ever seen in my life. Hands down. The worst card. Like the co-feature was, listen, it wasn't even this card. I'm a fan. So I'm watching, oh man, this is a guy I've never seen, a prospect to watch. I didn't take any notes. No mental notes, no handwritten notes, because it was nobody. This was bad to be a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, this is the kind of card that makes you not feel bad about stealing pay-per-views.
Yeah,
Like
if you were so inclined to do so,
this should have been nowhere
Yeah,
near.
yeah.
Should have been nowhere near a pay-per-view. And by contrast, next week's fight, Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, a much better matchup,
Yes,
is free.
Yeah, but what's crazy is this is Top Rank, and Top Rank fights are supposed to be on ESPN Plus, right, for free. He's like during the pandemic, they were doing all their fights for free, and then they're handpicking which ones get pay-per-view. And I understand Tyson Fury is a big money maker, and I know they made a lot of money. They sold out at that stadium that they were at. So I'm certain this made a lot of money. I'm just glad I ain't pay for it.
They were gonna make their money anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, to B's point, I mean, this could have been on ESPN Plus, whatever you want to, however you want to spin it. But I mean, to fleece, that's been the word today.
This word today, the word of the day, fleece.
To fleece folks out of $70 and not even put on a competent card, that that's just a bad look. Again, like you said, Tyson is a draw, clearly, right? 94,000+ people in one stadium to see this guy fight. But I guess I'm gonna look at it on the bright side. I'm just glad that this fight came on early, because if we'd have stayed up till 2 a.m. to watch that, I would have been pissed.
Wouldn't be here, I'll tell you that.
We'd be here, but you would not like what we have to say.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'll hop on a video next week. I'm not streaming at 2 a.m. for that.
You wouldn't like what I have to say. Look, they said the Fury mob over there was huge. They showed out. You could hear them, and I'm sure they're ecstatic about this. Look, if you're a fan of a fighter, seeing them dust off an opponent is always fun to watch.
Yeah.
But man, we'll talk more about that in a second. But let's go through this card. So I think it's David Adelaide. I think that's his name. I'm not going to go research these names either. The guy he's fighting, yes, he was a butterbean clone, essentially. They kept on making fun of this guy during the fight. They started out with a light jab, like, oh well, he's not in the best of shape, and this is that. I was like, oh, okay, that's a little shade. And then they're talking about Adelaide needing to take that next step up in competition. And the one dude said, yeah, he ain't it. So the fight went pretty predictable. I mean, it went a little bit longer than they expected. But those type of fights with up-and-coming fighter, I don't expect those fighters to just put away guys, even guys like him, right away, because their trainers are trying to tell him to work on stuff. You could tell he's clearly trying to work on certain things. They're telling him, don't just go straight for the knockout. Work on the things that we talked about, because you're trying to develop skill. So I thought that was a good, clean fight for Adelaide. And we'll see where he goes in the future. What's up, Eric? Hell, thank you. Appreciate you.
I do want to take a real quick moment and just let everybody know that on our last stream on Lunch Break Hot Take last week, we did get some Cash App donations, but Cash App was having some issues. They didn't send out the notifications, so we do apologize for not reading those. We are going to get to those first thing on our next stream.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you to everybody. Yeah, the good thing about it is we don't do super chats. We're not going to do it on this channel. We're not going to do it on Lunch Break Hot Take. The way we do our super chats, Cash App, and there's a link. I ain't put it here. I'll pin the link in here. Those are two ways that you donate and leave your message, and we usually put a notification right in the corner of my screen here. But the good thing about that is they don't go away, right? They might fade off the screen, but we can bring them up anytime, right? So don't feel like if you donate, I know that's the issue with Super Chat. If you donate, the creators got a certain amount of time to read your comment before it disappears. Our comments don't disappear.
And it is apparently still happening, because we did get a Cash App here. Let me go ahead and enter this in. Go ahead and keep
okay.
talking about it.
Yeah. That's look, we don't control Cash App. But yeah. So Adelaide, we'll see what kind of fight he turns into. The next fighter, I don't remember his name. I remember it was a featherweight match.
I have it right here. It was Isaac Lowe and Nick Ball.
Okay, so Lowe was the taller guy, and he was on a win streak, and then he had a loss coming into this fight, and talking about him kind of, this fight gain some confidence. And Nick Ball, man, like the height advantage. Nick, like Lowe was tall, Nick Ball was short, right? And they were saying it from the jump, like Lowe needs to not try to mix it up, like use your height advantage, use your reach advantage, and he went right in there and tried to mix it up. And there we go. There's the donation. Shout out to Anonymous. Appreciate that. Keep up the most excellent work, brothers. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our overlay. I'm gonna change this overlay. It cuts off some of the thing right there. But yeah, he went in there with a smaller guy and fought small for the reach advantage that he had. He fought small, and he ended up getting caught with a hook. And I can't remember what round it was, an early round. And he fought through it, but then he got cuts on both eyes and he started bleeding. And then the ending was
terrible.
He wasn't going to win the fight, but he was still competing. And the ending, like, he got pushed into a corner. He kind of put half his body out the ring.
Not like he got kind of normally how you gonna back somebody in the corner. No, the guy grabbed him and threw him into the corner.
And this is a move that veteran fighters do. Like, okay, I'm put half my body out the ring to let you know, like, don't hit. So the ref's supposed to come in and break it up, right? Yeah. So that's the part that you missed, Mikey, for a second. You have a problem with your paid stream.
Yes.
With your paid stream. So he kind of, he stuck his body at the ring. Everybody understands that, and the ref supposed to come in and say, okay, break. But the ref didn't do that.
Yeah.
And when there's just it was kind of a second where everybody just kind of stopped. He's like, okay, it's safe to come back in. And the guy said, no, it's not. I'm going to hit you now. Boom. And that was it. Game over. Fight's over. Shout out to Matty Gunner, man. Appreciate you coming through. Says, all hail the Gypsy King. Yes.
No, thank you. I'll pass on that.
Danny said, I know y'all made sure to get that money. Did Cash App receive a phone call? Oh, you bet they did. Listen. Like the stuff that we need to set up our stream, like if something doesn't work, like StreamYard, they hear about it from us. They know exactly who we are. I can promise you that. So yeah, but that was that was an unfortunate ending. That ref was not doing his job. It reminded me of the Spence fight last week, right? Like we talked about why Spence just stopped to go get his mouthpiece, and he's like, yeah, I heard the ref say stop. And if you go back and look at it, he did say stop.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, now I put that more on Spence still, because you still gotta protect yourself until the ref gets in between. That's exactly why the refs get in between, just in case of stuff like that. So he should have waited. But this guy had his body out of the ring. Everybody understands what that means.
Yeah.
Right? The rest supposed to understand what that means. Okay, break, because you can't be hitting the guy that's outside the ring. Right? And he does that too many times. You tell him don't do that anymore. But he just stood there like, nope, keep going.
Yeah. And shout out to the brother that left a comment on that Spence video we did when he said he heard the ref say stop. Damn. All right. We know. Calm down. We know.
That doesn't change the fact that you're supposed to protect yourself, man.
That's the number one rule in every combat sport is protect yourself at all times.
And Spence said that at the end of the fight. No matter what, I should have protected myself at all times. He called it a rookie mistake. So we know we were just stating what the facts were. It's okay. But we appreciate you watching anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, after that, the next fight was a welterweight bout with, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this guy's name, Eko Esuman and Darren Tetley.
Is that Echo the Engine?
Yes.
That was his name, Echo the Engine, right?
Yes. That was the co-main, right?
Yeah.
Or the co-feature.
That was for what belt was that? That was like the UK
I don't
world title or something like that. It
I don't
was
even,
for
I
a
don't even
belt.
see any belt listed here.
Yeah, it was some made up. It was some
Well, to be fair, they're all made up, but
Yes, yeah.
this one's made up and not respected.
I just listen, man. I understand, like, it's a British card, right? You want to have a lot of British fighters. There are better fighters than that.
Yes.
Right. The UK has much better fighters you can get on there. I know Bob Arum's got more. He's got more British fighters than that on his promotion, doesn't he?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe a lot of them are, they're scrambling to find a new promotion.
Well, I'm about to say, I know there's some MTK free agents out there, MTK Global free agents.
But yeah, that Esuma fight, that was the kind of fight that you would expect to see at the beginning of a card.
Yeah.
Or maybe on the prelims. It just wasn't really entertaining in any way.
No.
So yeah.
Speaking of NTK, if you guys haven't checked it out already, check out our video that we did just a couple of days ago, talking about MTK Global. Who's MTK Global? B? Who are they?
They are no one now.
No, they got to the end of the month.
They were a promoter, mainly based over in the UK. They are Tyson Fury's co-promoter. They promote Billy Joe Saunders. Was it Michael Conlon? Darren Till, a bunch of
Taylor,
MMA fighters.
Josh Taylor.
But that's not really the story. The story is that they're run by a mob boss, Daniel Kinahan.
Yes.
Well, and they kind of severed their ties with him allegedly in 2017 when he survived an assassination attempt at a boxing weigh-in.
Yes. What assassination attempt are we referencing? This one right here. This is not from a movie set. Okay. This is not a TV show. These are actual assassins running away. And yes, that is a man.
That's not a woman who's like shocked about the situation. That's a man taking off his wig while he's still holding the gun that he used to try to kill Daniel Kinahan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That actually happened at a boxing weigh-in. So if you want to know more about that, check out that video titled Tyson Fury Connections to a Mob Boss. That's pretty awesome. Okay. You like that little plug there? You like that?
I like it.
Back to Fury.
Yes.
In the grand scheme of things, it was a good performance from Tyson. It was an easy fight against a guy who didn't really belong in there, but there aren't many heavyweights. He controlled the fight from start to finish pretty much. They got a little rough in the middle rounds of this fight, being like 2, 3, and 4. But he was never really in any danger. Dillian Whyte never really landed anything of consequence. And I will say it was a beautiful uppercut that he landed to put Dillian out.
It was an even better shove.
Yes.
Are we gonna talk about how he shoved him down to the ground?
It was so smooth. He landed the uppercut. He saw that Dillian was out, and he shoved him. He said, "Down you go."
He said, "Don't fall on me. Fall on your back."
Yeah, fall down. Listen, let me save you. It's the move. When you chopping a tree down, you want to give it a little nudge.
Yeah.
That's what he did. But listen, the ring walks were the highlight of the fight. In my opinion, like you said, grand scheme of thing, Tyson, he looked well. I mean, in my opinion, he's crafty. He's a crafty heavyweight. I think he is. He's solidly skilled for his size. Pretty smart fighter. I think he was setting up that punch the whole fight. But it just, I don't know, man. It was a little lackluster, for all of the hoopla, 94,000 people and that type of stuff. But, I guess going into it, we should have tempered our expectations. And I think I did that for the most part. But I was expecting a little more of maybe not, I don't want to say slugfest, but I was expecting Dillian to be a little more aggressive. I mean, he's known to be
the fight a bit more.
He's known to be, aggressive, push the momentum in the fight sometime, most of the time.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that at all. So it ended the way it should have, I guess. Get that out of there early, and let's move on to the next one.
So Matty Gunner says, hey Dillian, I hope all the arbitration was worth it because he ain't sniffing a title shot again for a long time. Now, I'll say this.
Time means ever. He's like 34 right now. Right?
Well, I mean,
and he's rich though.
Yeah. I think
he just made $8-9 million off of this.
That's what I say. Yeah, like I mean, boxing is a business, right? And it's not always about when you're ready. It's when the opportunity arises. Yeah. You need to be ready enough to take it. And is he going to see a bigger payday than fighting Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury is the biggest heavyweight right now. I mean, he already fought Anthony Joshua and lost. I don't think he was going to get that shot again.
Also by uppercut.
Yes. And we don't know if Joshua's going to get a belt back. I mean, Usyk is the man right now. Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to say I don't think so. We'll see. Right. But yeah, this was the time. This was the time to do it. And yeah, he got a nice check for it. And Dillian Whyte might be on his way out too. And speaking of being done, Tyson Fury, I think he has said this was going to be his last fight. He was going to retire after this fight.
Yeah, that's what he said. I doubt it very much.
So that's what I was going to ask. What do you guys think? My brothers here on the panel and also in the chat, do you think Tyson Fury is done? I have some thoughts about that, but I'll let y'all go ahead.
No, I think, it sounds good, but if they can somehow find a way for him and Joshua to clash again in Wembley and sell 100,000 people there, there's no way he's turning that down. Even
him and Usyk, I think he would want to take that fight. But no, I think this was a great moment for him, to have at Wembley, like you said, 94,000 people, most of them in favor of Tyson Fury. It was he had that big extended walk in where you got to kind of soak in the adulation of the fans, and it was an easy fight, and then he put on a little show. He got the knockout, so that's a nice night. He'll always have that memory as his quote retirement party, right? And now, like you said, if Joshua happens to beat Usyk, he'll definitely come back to fight Anthony Joshua. I think even if Usyk wins and shows interest in fighting Fury for those belts, I think he'll take that fight too. I mean, I think maybe he'll take a little break.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to quit with those fights out there.
Yeah, I don't. I think I see Matty Gunner saying he'll definitely come back for Joshua. Yeah, I think that the Joshua. First of all, they wanted that to happen back when it was supposed to happen, and unfortunately, Joshua took a risk, and that went down the drain. Yeah, but I think that's the fight he's clamoring for, and I think if they put 94,000 people in the seats for this fight, I think with Joshua, man, they'll do more than that. They'll do 100K plus, I think, with Joshua. So it would be definitely hard for him to turn that down.
And shout out to UK Strange says Tyson beats Usyk and Joshua. I don't think he beats Usyk, my man.
Yeah, I don't think he would beat Usyk. I think he'd beat Joshua just because Joshua can't really take a punch.
Joshua is so he's so weird, man. Because like there are times where he can put it all together and he looks like the man. Yeah, and then other times just like I don't know, man. Like he's one of those. He's not always 100% focused. Usyk is laser focused, and I don't think Tyson Fury can beat Usyk, man. I'm sorry, I don't think he can. That'd be a good fight though. That'd be an interesting fight, but I don't think Tyson Fury will take that fight. I think the Joshua fight absolutely, because that's huge money, right? Yeah. They had $150 million contract for 2 fights, 75 per fight on the table, right? That's just for the purse. That's not including anything else, the pay-per-view and all that stuff added up. Mm-hmm. That was a huge payout. And let's just be real, Joshua messed it up, right? Like Wilder sued to intervene to get that rematch, right? Which was his right to do, and he won it. But Tyson Fury took care of business. So it was all good. All Joshua had to do, if he wanted to stay active, man, you take a tune-up fight, right? Yeah. Like Fury had to fight, top competition because like he was sued into doing it. Like he had to. It wasn't because like he wanted to do it. You chose to go and take on a dangerous opponent and you lost your belts. You should have just said, okay, I'll do a tune-up fight, Andy Ruiz 3 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you two do that fight. But now you have to go get the rematch or get the belts back because that same money ain't on the table, right? Yeah. So yeah, of course Tyson Fury is sitting there saying like, yeah, I'm going to retire until until he's going to retire until that fight takes place and see how that materializes, because I don't think there's as much money there for Fury and Usyk as it would be for Fury and Joshua.
No, I agree. Yeah, so I don't think. I mean, and listen, if that's the plan, there's no better way to sell it. No perfect way to sell it. Set it up with, I'm retiring. Joshua comes back, he wins the belts back, and then it's, he calls Fury out of retirement, and then they sell 130,000 tickets, and it's the biggest fight ever, and so it's no way he can turn that down. I mean, he said the same thing after the second Wilder fight that he was going to be done. So,
and Josh was still the poster boy for UK boxing for some weird reason. Tyson will take that and run with it. So that's the other part. Hey, say Usyk beats him again, and then Tyson gets to come out of retirement and avenge his British brother, right?
You know why? Because
against the evil Eastern European.
Because Anthony Joshua looks like what a boxer looks like in a movie. He looks like he could model or something. You know what I'm saying? He has that look of a superstar. So that's why he gets it. He gets a little bit of that Mikey Garcia treatment. Mikey Garcia reference there. Mikey Garcia reference coming in. He gets a little of that Mikey Garcia treatment, right?
You mean Ryan?
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Ryan.
I apologize, Mike.
That's all I was saying about Anthony
Joshua.
Good Garcia. You look at him and he's everything you want in a heavyweight champion. But when he gets in the ring, he's only 85% of what you expect.
Yeah,
you expected him to be.
That's the weird thing, right? Because like he is good.
Yeah,
he's a good boxer, and sometimes he puts it all together. You're like, whew, he's dangerous. Yeah. Other times you're just like, what's he doing?
This is a little disrespectful to Anthony, but okay.
Only Joshua beats Usyk is if Usyk trips over. Wow. Look, the last fight was a good fight. That was a close fight. Yeah. That's a close fight. I'll tell you what. I think here's a problem I think Joshua has. He fights to a level of competition, right? Mm-hmm. And if the competition is lower, he starts extremely slow. If the competition is higher and he's expecting a real fight, he comes in a lot more focused and more alert. And those early rounds, he's sharper, right? That's what happened in the Andy Ruiz fight. He just kind of, he thought he was going to walk through Andy Ruiz, especially after he knocked him down. He's like, yeah, piece of cake. But Andy Ruiz, he's a brawler, and he wasn't ready for that. Usyk, if you watch the fight early on, he was getting too cute with it. But then he saw Usyk wasn't going to go anywhere. He wasn't going out. He damn sure was going to outbox Usyk. Usyk is the cleanest, most technically sound boxer in the heavyweight division, hands down. Mm-hmm. And he found that out. But you know what? He adjusted during the fight, and it was a real fight. But he started too late, and that's why he lost. So I think the second fight, I'm not saying he's going to win it, but you're not going to see him get off to a slow start in that second fight. I promise you that.
I think Usyk knocks him out in the second fight.
Oh, I don't think Usyk can knock him out.
I think he can.
I don't think he can knock him out.
If he knocks him out, we'll see a bunch of Sonic coins spill out the ring, because that's how much money they're going to lose. That's how much money is good. Joshua is losing.
That's all Fury's going to see. Oh, you watching that fight?
Yeah, Sonic coins go fly.
That is funny.
Speaking of that, do they have a scheduled date for that second fight?
I don't believe so.
Good question. I know they're having it, but I don't know if there's a date set. For the heavyweight division, man, it's just in general, it's just not a good division. It hasn't been good for a while. And I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot of Tyson Fury fans that are gonna watch this, right? And they're gonna watch the replay and they're gonna leave the comments like, if you love Tyson Fury, that's cool. That's cool. He's the best in the heavyweight division. But like, in the history of boxing. Let's be real. I'm hearing people say one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He's not that, man. He's not that.
He's a decent heavyweight in an era with no heavyweights.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah. His greatest win is Vitaly Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. And Vitaly Klitschko was a great fighter, but I mean, that was literally
Vladimir. I thought.
Oh, was it Vladimir? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I get them confused. But it was literally Klitschko's last fight. He was on his way out the sport. So I mean, you got an older Klitschko, and Deontay Wilder is just a guy that's really strong and athletic and can't box. I'm sorry. And I like Wilder and all, but he can't. He's not a boxer. Me and Mike used to talk about this guy when he first came up, and I told Mikey then, I said, I see a man with no defense and no technical skills, but if he worked on it, he would be unstoppable. But he said, nah, I ain't gonna work on it. I'm not even gonna throw a jab.
I just have this one hit, this one hitter quitter, and that's gonna get me through.
That's gonna get me paid. Yeah.
Well, you know what? He threw his jab against Fury in the third fight, and he still got knocked out. So whatever. Okay.
How you get gassed out from throwing a jab? Like, he threw a jab in the first round, and he was tired. Like, jabs are always supposed to keep you in it, right? You can't throw anything else. I can throw that jab all day. Yeah. Wilder only knows 2 punches. It's a scientific fact. What's the second punch? I don't even know one.
Bending over, leaning in jab that he just learned. That's the jab that people throw when they're in a fight and they don't know how to fight and they're scared of getting hit.
Man.
That's how you throw that body jab.
Yeah, Wilder, his strength, he was strong and he was in shape. Those are, I mean, that's all you need in the heavyweight division, man. And it got him a lot of money, got him a lot of wins. And once he got the belt and he started making money, he put himself in a position and he circled himself around people that were not going to tell him no. Because it should have happened a long time ago. His camp should have told him, look, you're going to do it the way we show you, or we're not going to train you. Go get somebody else. Right? And yeah, maybe he would have, or maybe he would have listened and said, okay, fine. But it's too late in the game to try to learn anything now, right? You trying to learn a jab in the rematch a few weeks, right? Well, you got like 12 weeks or whatever before you got to take that fight. That's not enough time to develop something like that. You should have taken that step aside money like they offered you. You should have taken the tune-up fight, work on that stuff then. And then after Fury and Joshua fight their 2 fights, then you go back and get revenge. You're ready then, right? But Wilder, you could tell he's a prideful person. No, I want that fight now. To this date, to this date.
Wilder's that friend that comes over and uses the same move over and over and again.
Yes, that's so true.
Man, if you
only thing I got to do in Tekken is pick Eddie and just start mashing buttons and let the capoeira do what it will.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, Wilder would have made buku money if he'd have took the step aside.
Yeah.
Let those 2 fights happen at $75 million apiece. Man, the purse bid for that, following that would have been through the roof. He would have banked out. I know it's pride. I know he's prideful. I know he's a warrior. He said, go out on his shield, that type of guy. But there's a business side of this, and
I understood.
Listen, let my job call me and say, listen, I'm gonna pay you to step. Just stay home. I'm gonna be like, what?
Man, and if he had gotten lucky and Joshua came out of that with the belts,
yes,
he could take that fight for an insane amount of money and he would murder Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, right? Because like, it's all about building up fights. It's all about hyping them up. He coming off a loss. Okay, whatever. It stings. But people love the comeback story, right? But part of the comeback story is working your way back up. So you take on a tune-up fight and you say, okay, I'm back, right? You look dominant in that fight. And then, you take another fight. Like I said, I keep bringing up Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry, because Andy Ruiz isn't, he's not anybody, but he's he beat Joshua and he's got a popular name. So that would sell. And he dusted off Andy Ruiz. And, you know, that's going to be a brawl. Those are two guys that want to hit, right? Do that fight in another fight. You knock those opponents out. You show off your jab a little bit. And now people are talking like, oh, well, he added something to his arsenal. The next time they fight, it's going to be something. And like you said, B, if the Gypsy King comes out on top in the Joshua duo match, then he can get a rematch with Fury, and that would sell. That would be a big payday. If Joshua were to win, that would be a big payday. But he set himself up for a huge payday. But now, where does he go?
Yeah.
Because he said he's not done. At the time, I said, okay, well, maybe he's thinking about retiring because they're all older fighters. Maybe he's thinking about retiring, so he just wants to get the match out the way. But he said he's not done fighting. So where are you gonna go now?
Yeah,
Dillian Whyte. That's probably his next opponent, Dillian Whyte.
I think he'll try to put something together with Ruiz, just because I think that would be, like you said, a popular fight. Everybody knows that they go in there to throw bombs and get the other guy out. So I mean, that'll be a popular fight with fans. Outside of that, like, you know, I don't know that anybody looks at him as a championship caliber fighter anymore.
Right. Real quick, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also smash that like button. We got Matty Gunner says no, I read that one. He said I can't wait to see that camera on Eddie Hearn's face when Joshua loses again. that is Eddie Hearn's cash cow right there, boy. That's his cash cow.
Yeah. I think Ruiz is scheduled to fight Ortiz. So maybe that leads into a wilder fight. I mean, he fought Ortiz. He fought Ortiz twice already, right?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting betting fight to say how many rounds does Ortiz win before Wilder knocks him out again.
Yeah. So maybe if
last time it was 7.
Maybe if Ruiz can win that, then that would lead into a wilder fight and possibly, I don't know. But it in the grand scheme of things, he missed out on three huge paydays versus getting the one that he got. And, you know, because he'd have got paid for the step aside money. And just like you guys already painted out, whatever the outcome would have been of those fights between Joshua and Fury, he could have fought the winner and then fought the guy who lost the fight.
Yeah, especially if
vice versa. Yeah.
If Joshua wins, he fights Joshua, gets those belts, and then it leads naturally to a third fight with Fury, which would be the biggest fight ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. How much was that step aside money? Because I know, I mean, I'm asking like you know, off the top of your head, but like I know it wasn't like a little bit of money, right?
I want to say it was 14 million, I believe. But
that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
That's a good chunk of money.
Who you telling?
You can buy me to swallow my pride for a few more months for 14 million. Maddie says I saw Fury pulled Ngannou into the ring and said they're going to fight. We're really going to do this. We're doing it. Yeah.
50 million.
I don't know how much that will sell. Francis Ngannou isn't like he's not like Conor McGregor. Like I like Francis Ngannou, but Conor McGregor kind of transcended UFC, right? Mm-hmm. He was kind of a larger than life figure. Francis Ngannou, I don't think is as popular. But you know, I could be wrong. His popularity is growing. But I don't think I don't know if that's going to sell that much. But you know, that's one of those safe fights where everybody gets paid. I'm sure Francis Ngannou is all for it. That'd be the biggest payday he's ever had.
Yeah.
All right. And it's an easy fight for Fury to do. So yes. So yes, Maddie, we are going to see it.
It's coming.
In fact, Maddie, be ready for a lot more MMA fighters to start doing boxing. I see it. It's just UFC doesn't pay, and boxing pays a lot, and you don't need to do nearly as much to make those fights happen. You don't have to sell nearly as much. You don't have to get as many views, but you know, like the guaranteed money those fighters get is a whole lot more. So like just just be ready for it, man. You know, who you looking at, B?
I don't know. I was trying to see if I could look up the step aside money, but
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to do.
That sounds about right. About 14.
Because I'm seeing an article where Fury says, you know, he didn't offer anything, and Wilder asked for the money, but you know, I mean, it's Tyson Fury.
Right. Of course they offer. Of course they offer that money. You have a 2-fight $150 million deal on the table.
Yeah.
And here, take this $14 million, man. Go on. You know,
That's
go
easy.
on.
That's easy money.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. We'll come back to you. And all Wilder had to do was say, I will take this money if you guarantee me a rematch down the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Guarantee me a rematch down the road. I'll take the step aside money. I'll do a couple of the fights, you know, and that'd be good for him. That will build his hype back up. All he had to do, that same weak jab that he tried to throw against Fury, right? If he does that against Andy Ruiz and then follows it up with a knockout, people will be like, "Oh, look at Fury, or look at Wilder. Wilder is he's working on the jab. He's got a jab now." You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like Deontay, the ring technician, Wilder.
Yeah. I felt like we spent more time talking about Wilder in the stream.
Yeah.
Than Fury. But look. I mean, there's not much to say, right? Fury has had an excellent career. He made the most out of dominating a pretty bad division. Mm-hmm. Made some good money. Finished on top. So he's in a position now to he'll take the Ngannou fight because that's an easy payday for both of them. Mm-hmm. And then if Joshua pulls off the victory, I think he comes back to do that fight because I think he can get even more money now. I think after beating Wilder and Dillian Whyte, I think he can get even more money than what he was originally going to get paid, and Joshua too. Because ain't no Joshua.
Depending on how the Joshua Usyk fight goes, like you said, people love a redemption story. It was a bit of an upset, you know, for most people when Usyk came up and beat him, but it was a great fight. So if he comes back and he wins convincingly in a rematch, I think that Fury fight and that money will still be there for him.
Yeah. But like I said, if Usyk wins, I just don't think I don't think there's going to be enough money for Fury to be like, all right, I'll come out of retirement for that, you know, and they'll just be Usyk's division for a while.
Yeah, dream scenario, man. Anthony Joshua has a great showing. He wins, and that creates a collision course for them too. That's what they want. If it doesn't, like I said, the Sonic rings will fly out the ring, and and you know what, Fury then can move on to fight Ngannou and make that type of money. But I think, you know, it would do numbers. It would do huge numbers. Like I said, if this did 94,000, right? And speaking of that fight that did 132,000, the Chavez fight, like what? I was blown away by those numbers. But anyway, like
the whole country was there.
Yeah, everybody was there. Huge cookout, man. Everybody come and show up. But that's
insane.
Yeah, but I think that would do Eddie Hearn, those guys, you know, Bob Arum, those guys would be doing backflips for that if that ends up happening. But
it's the top two British fighters. So it's yes. It'll do all the numbers.
Yeah.
This is a world champion learning how to jab 40 plus fights into his career is nuts. What's even more nuts is he hasn't learned how to jab.
What's even more nuts was he hasn't learned how to jab, and he's only lost to Fury.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
Tells you how bad that division is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you guys this. I'm obviously stuck on these numbers, right? And the amount of money these guys are pulling in. Fury obviously is a draw, right? It's reported that his base pay is just about 30 million, right? Not including pay-per-view sales, ticket gate, and all of that. Who's a bigger draw pay-per-view wise? Matter of fact, all around. Who's the bigger draw, him or Canelo?
I think Canelo's the biggest draw in boxing right now. I could be wrong. I think Canelo's the biggest draw in boxing. I think he makes the most money.
I think so. You also got to, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with this, but you got to remember that fight was in the UK.
Yeah. Nah.
Anywhere else, he's not pulling those kind of that kind of crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would tend to think it is Canelo as well.
But as crazy as it is, right? Like, because the competition is weak in heavyweight division, is way more competitive from that, welterweight all the way up to, light heavyweight divisions. A lot more quality fighters, but there's really nobody for Canelo to fight that's going to give him the type of draw as Fury fighting Joshua.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like there's no, I mean, other than Mayweather, he had to fight Mayweather early in his career because Mayweather was on his way to retirement. But there's no fight that's going to bring in those kind of numbers for Canelo right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Now, when he was talking about going up to light heavyweight, Usyk said he would come back down to fight him, but I don't think he wants to fight Usyk.
No, nor should he.
No,
like if I started at welterweight, I'm not fighting a dude who was heavyweight champion of the world.
No, not at all. But he spars with heavyweights, though. B, that's what they say. He spars with heavyweights.
Yeah, cool. Congrats on that.
Maddie says Canelo's going on vacation, put on 40 pounds to come back and fight Tyson.
But that's he got caught. A little bit like Fury, he got caught between eras. He came in right at the tail end of Mayweather and Pacquiao, and he's there before all these younger fighters really come up and start moving up in weight.
Yeah.
So but he's obviously made the best of it. So.
Yeah. So what's next for the heavyweight division, man? Like, I don't even know who's up and coming. Like, we watched that one guy tonight, Adelaide. I don't know what he's still far away from being anything. That one American fighter that wears all the costumes. I keep forgetting his name.
Anderson. That's what I was just looking at.
Yeah, that's me too.
He's next.
Okay.
He's got to be it.
He's a top ranked.
Yeah. Jared Anderson. Yeah.
I think he's a top ranked fighter as well. So they'll probably be promoting him. Yes, he is a top ranked fighter because we watched him fight on that Lomachenko card. Yeah, so he's somebody to look out for. But man, it's barren right now.
Yeah, what's next for the heavyweight division is to just be quiet while the lightweights and the welterweights do all the work.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah.
A smart strategy would be for some of these light heavyweight fighters to just move up,
go get that money.
Look at what Usyk is doing. Be like, yeah, I'll move up now. I'll go ahead.
It's a dangerous game.
It is.
Yes.
You have to be able to
you're not talking about, I'll just move up to the next class, right? Because there's no limit when you get up to heavyweight. So it's not like, I'll put on 10 pounds and move up. Tyson Fury's out there 250 plus.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury is retired now, right? So yes, Tyson Fury is somebody. Yeah, look, Tyson Fury's got skill. We don't think he's got the greatest skill in the world, but he's got skill. So you don't want to just move up and fight somebody that heavy, right? Because he can hurt you. But with him gone, and even Wilder, we get on Wilder for not having skill. You don't want to get caught with one of his punches, right? No. We talk about Fury beating him. Fury got knocked down 4 times by Wilder, and one time he was out cold. He got woken up by the ref. So you don't want to get caught with punches from those guys. But those guys, their careers are almost over. Mm-hmm. Who are the next guys coming up?
Joshua's got a lot of time left if he wants it.
Yeah, but he's another one. How much longer is he gonna fight?
How old is Joshua?
28.
Joshua.
You gonna look at him? It's gonna say 39.
Right.
39. 32.
32.
Wow. Okay. I didn't even think he was that old, honestly. I thought he was late 20s.
Yeah.
But he's still, like B said, he got time. He could very well be the face. They're gonna push him. They're gonna try to make him that next guy. They were trying to already do it, and he took a couple L's that he shouldn't have, or unexpected L's anyway. So, But he has time left. He's fairly, 32 is right there where he
That
can
right
still be
age,
pushed.
yeah.
Yeah, he's at that right age. So, but it's barren. The cupboard is barren. They need to start trying to find some young guys, like we said, Jared Anderson. He seems to have some pop, but I mean, my fear for that is who's going to be around for him to fight.
Yeah, because he still has a little ways to go. I think. I don't think he's ready to.
Maddie's got a question here. Who are we taking in Valdez Stevenson? I know personally, I'm taking Stevenson, and I think it's going to be a pretty easy fight for him. I think it's going to be a big time kind of coming out moment for Stevenson.
Yeah, I'm taking Stevenson.
It's going to be Stevenson.
I think it'll. I don't think he'll wash him, but I do think Stevenson will put on a show, and he'll win convincingly. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I think it's Oscar Valdez is a good fighter, very good fighter, and I think Stevenson is going to outclass him.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it should be a good fight. And then Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano will be fighting as well. So,
and I just heard also Keyshawn Davis is on the undercard of that Shakur Stevenson fight, so that'll be somebody to watch as well. Another up and coming fighter.
Yeah. The pre-fights will be better than the majority of this card that we've seen today,
and we know this. We know this. Like
the ones that won't be on TV will be better than this card. Gosh, man.
Yeah, I'm disappointed by that, man. I know he's gonna have his brother on there fighting, and it is what it is. The first fight, whatever. I'm not thinking about that, but like the next couple fights, man, I want to see a step up. That Adelaide fight, it's just like you got a guy out there that, I mean, technically he's a pro because he gets paid for it, but I mean that's not a pro. You always know when you're fighting somebody that is not good enough to be on a pay-per-view fight when he gets hit and his head rocks back and the ref says, "Okay, that's enough." Right? Yeah. Like it wasn't like he was losing his legs or anything like that. He got his head rocked back. And the rest like, okay, no, you're not, you can't do anything here. Let me save you right now.
Like clearly, that guy, he had moved on from boxing. He was at home chilling, eating pizza, and they called him.
Like, hey, yo, we need one more slot to fill.
What are you doing Saturday night?
Vega says, "Oh, wait, is this true? By the way, guys, Ricky Hatton's coming back for one more in July."
Listen,
no,
I think you're lying, and if that's true, I think you're lying about being excited, Maddie.
Or is it Ricky Hatton Jr.?
Or is it the son? Yeah.
Well, that's not even his name. His name's not Ricky, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
I thought it was Ricky Jr.
I didn't bother learning it because he looked like trash.
Oh wow, that's you got some harsh words, B.
It's not. I mean, I was gonna say it's not harsh. Maybe it was harsh, but I mean, it's not false.
It's like maybe it's harsh, but I don't care.
It's harsh, but it's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would have rather have seen his brother fight as the co-main. Like, do that. At least is the Fury name. The hype behind wanting to see this guy fight would have had me more excited than what they showed.
If that's what you're gonna show, have it's Tommy Fury, right? You call him Tommy Fury. It's Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
I would have had Tommy. That's where you have him fight Jake Paul on the undercard. That's where you have that fight.
Yeah, he don't want to fight Jake Paul.
He's scared of Jake. Ricky Hatton announces ring return, age 43 for exhibition bout. Oh no.
But you know what? Look, who's he fighting? We said that about Julio Cesar Chavez, and that was a very entertaining match.
That was entertaining because Julio Cesar Chavez, in his mind, never retired.
He thought, he's like, I still got it. That was
Hector Camacho Jr. was looking at the ref like, "Yo, you better calm this dude down." Like, you better explain to him what this is supposed to be.
Look, that card was entertaining. Right, that's exactly what it was. It was exhibition.
Marco Antonio Barrera. No. I'm sorry. No.
Two legends. That doesn't sound like it's gonna be an exhibition, man. You know, but I don't know. Maybe it's entertaining. You know, they just want to go out there and get in shape. Hey, you know what? That's a good thing. We were just talking about that with the Tyson and Roy Jones fight. As long as they understand, like you're not fighting to knock each other out. It's a little sparring. You know, I like to see those older fighters that we remember go out there and just stay in a little shape, right? Mikey, we always talk about us getting together and just shooting around, just doing something to stay active. In our older years. I had no problem with it. Hadn't fighting my rec league basketball coach.
I'm taking coach in that fight, man. Like the difference between this and Tyson and Jones is that nobody has fond memories of Ricky Hatton. By the time anybody, I mean, obviously,
I believe over in the UK they have
whatever. But they don't
wow,
no offense, Maddie, but. By the time anybody here found out who Ricky Hatton was, all you saw was him get knocked out by great fighters.
Look, he beat Costazu. All right,
sure he did.
That was a good way. Hatton was a good fighter.
Sure he was.
I'm gonna watch, but
I'm watching it. Yeah,
I'm not excited, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch.
I feel like after watching this fight, we can watch anything.
Yeah, man. Like. They should have. Matter of fact,
they
should have had that on
the ball. Don't let's drag the bar down.
Now hold on.
I know,
this is the time to kind of strengthen, and raise the bar back up.
Why not have Hatton on this card?
Yeah.
Ready.
Oh, boom.
I would have loved that.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Listen, I'd have taken that over what they put on, man. Come on, man.
I will say though, man, I do love watching British fighters in the UK because those fans go crazy. I get hyped when they start singing the Ricky Hatton song.
Yeah. And you know what? The atmosphere is second to none. Like I haven't experienced it in person, but watching it is it's like that for all of the events. Soccer.
I was gonna say that's a big part of why I watch the World Cup.
It's just so that is dope. Like, it is great to see that, and boxing we need that. Like
over here, we're like, oh, you're great at basketball. Boo.
Right. Right. It's nothing near that, so that side of it is like, that's why I said, man, the ring entrance. That was better. That was better than the undercard. Look, they could have just did that. I'd have taken the ring entrance. It was we like the part. I'd have taken the ring entrances and then the fight.
Yeah. Boom. I'm not a fan of Fury. Like, I'm not a Tyson Fury fan, but look, I get why people like him. He's an entertainer. Yeah. That his entrance was pretty good. They had all the fireworks going on time with the music. He's sitting on the throne singing and everything. Like it was good.
The things that make sports fun and exciting are all the things that Americans hate. I know. Say it's weird, right? Like we like showboating. Well, I say Americans, but really American media. Like Americans love it too. We love the showboating. We love the trash talking. We love it. But the media is just like, we don't. That's not the right way to do it. You're not doing it the right way, and they embrace that overseas, everywhere else.
Yeah.
Everywhere else.
How dare you? And in Fury, you know what? I love his story. You know what I mean? I'm not, like you said, B, I'm not the biggest Fury fan. I do think he's a solid boxer. I do think he's I think he's a good boxer, right? But his story is it's kind of hard to like not root for the guy when you hear his story. Like it's like, all right, he's dealt with some things in his past and he's overcome that. And he does a lot of good, with the money he makes. So, it's hard to dislike the guy, but
the dude can't sing. The very first time I saw Tyson Fury and he grabbed the mic and he started singing that Aerosmith song, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. Cause I thought it was like a impromptu kind of thing, but then I found out that he just does it after every fight, and I was like, stop singing, you can't sing.
Yeah. I thought they got away with it on this one, and then I saw that he did end up grabbing the mic to start singing. So
But no, you're right. He's an easy guy to root for, and it's not so much that I'm not a Fury fan as it is, when you watch boxing cards and they're like, hey, this guy who you've watched and is not an all-time great. He's definitely an all-time great.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
Is that a guy Rome?
Yeah, that's Rome. Rome.
Rome is in the house. It's great job, fellas. White never stood a chance. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
He had a slight puncher's chance, but he didn't want to punch. So,
yeah. I mean, look, he was flat-footed the whole. He was flat-footed the whole time, right? I was upstairs watching it with my brother-in-law, and from round one, it's just like, you look tired already. You look like you're not interested in moving around, and you got the heavier guy dancing around the ring, and you're just standing there. And if that's going to be your game plan, is just, I'm just going to try to go and knock him out. I'm not going to try to box him. You got to be a dog from the jump.
Yeah.
He just stood there and just got picked apart. So,
yeah. What can we say? We did it, guys. We watched it. We live streamed it. We watched that horrible undercard. I'm gonna talk about that until I see another good card. So hopefully next week will stop me from talking about this horrible card, especially with it being pay-per-view. But
yeah, next week I don't know if we're gonna live stream or not. You're muted, B.
I'm muted. I was saying thank you to Raven Online Ungatekeepers for the donation. He said 3 of the realest dudes. There were a couple of emojis on there, but
did you put the animation on there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put it again.
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Put it again.
Oh
Put it
God.
again. I'm switching Mikey. I'm switching you out, Mikey. Look, well, I'm in the corner there. It doesn't.
No. Wait.
Yeah. You got it. Point the other way. All right, put up there again, B. I got you. But yeah, next week. There it is. And shout out to Ravens Online Ungatekeepers. You got to read it. His comments cut off.
Again, it just said 3 of the realest dudes. There are a couple of emojis, but I can't really do that on my keyboard. So sorry.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
And if you're not subscribed to Ravens Online, make sure you check out his channel. He's growing really fast. He's just started live streaming. He's going to be doing a show, I believe, every Friday night, live streaming. So definitely check that out. He was in there yesterday. Did a great job with him and his guy Stacks.
Yes.
Hendo.
Yeah, and well, also if you're into football, American football, because I know it's gonna be some UK people watching this. American football. Check out our other channel, Lunch Break Hot Take. We do a show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. We cover all sports. We do talk a lot of American football, and Thursday is going to be the NFL draft, and Mikey is going to be joining us.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some other members of Off the Record, possibly. Well, definitely one. He already booked his spot.
Quad got his slot ready.
Yeah, he ready to go. And we're gonna see Ravens Online Ungatekeeper. He gonna come through as well. So
yes,
that's right. I am a man of my word. I discussed it with my co-host here. They put me in the right direction. I got some homework to do. But
if you're watching this, you can leave a comment on any fights that Mike definitely needs to see from the UFC.
Help me out, people.
Yes.
Help me out.
We reached 100 subscribers. So Mikey made a promise. Once we get to 100, he's gonna be a UFC fan, and that's what he's gonna be. Right.
You know what I want you guys to do? Drop fighters, the name. Now I know the main guys. I know John Jones. I know I'm getting to know Ngannou. I know Conor McGregor. Those guys. Drop some names of fighters who I wouldn't really know. But for me to, look up and check out their fights. Maybe I can start there.
Okay. All right. Maddie can give you all of them.
Maddie, help me out, Maddie.
Yeah. So, but yes, next fight is Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Will we go live? I don't know. What time is that fight going to be? Is that going to be a nighttime fight?
It's nighttime.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be night.
Look, we don't make promises. Okay, we don't make promises. I'll say this: we've been live streaming after these fights for a couple weeks now. So, maybe it's a good chance that we will live stream after the fight. Let's see how the stream does first. Maybe we should start holding you guys accountable. Hey, get us to 100 views on this stream. Get us to 100 views, and then maybe we'll live stream again.
Action-packed weekend next week, man. You know,
future UFC champ Patrick Queen in about 3 years. Wow.
Right, just watch Robbie Lawler versus Roy McDonald too. I'm going to tell you that fight was pretty brutal. Maybe don't watch that first. but yeah,
was that the one where his lip went two different ways?
Yeah, and he won.
Okay.
The guy whose lip was falling off his face won the fight.
Yeah,
that's what I need to see. I need to see
the fight.
Thanks, Maddie. I will check that out.
Yeah. So, all right. We're gonna start to wrap this up. But everybody that's watching, appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have reached 100 subscribers. Man, help us get to 200 real quick. Just go tell a friend. Say, hey man, let's watch this boxing channel. They're the biggest Tyson Fury fans. Go ahead and go ahead and check them out.
And we like Ryan Garcia too.
We love Ryan Garcia. You should check out some of Ryan Garcia videos.
Tell whatever lie you need to tell to get them online. We're very excited about Ricky Hatton's comeback.
Yes.
But we did a video discussing Tyson Fury and his connection to his former promoter, who is facing international sanctions right now for his alleged ties to organized crime.
Not you know what, man? That's not true. It's the official Hatton family fan show.
There you go.
Him and his son.
There you go. We love them all. So we got that video out, put out a short on Mike Tyson incident on the airplane. So make sure you check that out. Those are all clips from a podcast I was supposed to put out already, but I haven't done it yet. But that's going to come out. The Ring Kings podcast is actually our 3rd episode. We've been streaming a lot more. It seems like we've done more episodes, but that's officially our 3rd episode of Ring Kings podcast. So that'll be coming out. We'll put it on YouTube, and we'll post it everywhere that you listen to audio podcasts. So yes, 100 views, and we get a definite for next week. Look, don't quote me now.
You already did. Hendo gonna make that happen.
100 views, yes. 100 views, I say yes. Look, let me consult with my partners here. Mikey, are you 100 views? You down?
I'm down.
B, 100 views, you down?
I feel like 1K is more appropriate.
I agree. Look, we got over 1K on the last stream. Maybe we should set a little higher, maybe 500 views.
B is going to be so excited to see Keyshawn Davis fight next weekend. He is going to want to stream to talk about that fight.
Okay.
I'm going to want to text privately about it. and then go to bed at a reasonable time.
All right. So, you're getting some lukewarm commitments here. So be sure to look out for that. All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
No.
The merch. Yes. Check out the merch. All right.
Available, people.
Yes.
It's out there.
That's where you can get it right there. lbhtshow.com/shop is where you can get that merch. All right. So appreciate everybody, man. Terrible card. A pretty predictable fight. Yeah. But congrats to Tyson Fury. And if this truly is the end for him, man, excellent career. Salute to you, future Hall of Famer. But not the greatest heavyweight of all time. Not even close. But I don't want to finish on shade. Congrats to you, Tyson Fury. Smash that like button, and we'll be back next week, whether we stream live or we put out a video. We'll be back next week. So we will see y'all shortly. Have a great weekend. Peace out.